In this video, we're going to talk about how OnBase facilitates effective contract review and approval. And the review and approval phase of the contract lifecycle refers to the process in which a contract would be routed to one or many business approvers for review and approval before it's signed and finalized. And of course, based on the contract type and other variables, the people involved, routing roles, and number of approvers may vary. So what are some of the common business pains associated with the review and approval process? First, as I mentioned, depending on the circumstance, the required approvals can change frequently. So for example, with a software vendor agreement, a CIO and IT director may be required for approval, while finance agreements would require a CFO to approve. Additionally, contracts may be lost or misplaced throughout this process, either lost in email inboxes or on desktops. In some organizations, approvals are even made by word of mouth, which leaves no audit trail whatsoever. And there's also increased demand by approvers who are the casual users of a contract management system for simple ways to approve contracts, including via mobile devices or their email inboxes. And without the ability to approve contracts in these methods, they suffer from a lack of productivity. So now Scott will show us how OnBase helps facilitate effective review and approval.
In this demonstration, we're going to focus on how two user personas can interact with the approvals process in the application. For this first section, we're going to focus on the casual user, who is our contract approver. So when the legal team is ready for business approval, they can go ahead and initiate that process from the contract request, in which time notification will be sent out to the appropriate approval users. Now, the way that the approvers can access and act on that information, there's a few ways that they can do that. We can push that information directly to their Outlook inbox, and they can take a determination from the email notification itself. They might be able to do this from a mobile device, like a smartphone or an iPad. And last but not least, again, we're using our workflow engine to facilitate this. So we could surface that information to a workflow queue or a personal page for them to act upon. So in this example, once an approval has been sent out, our approval user is going to receive a new link on the approvals tile of their personal page. When they click that link, it's going to take them to the contracts routing and approval form, which is intended to give them high-level details about the approval they're being asked to give. Now, using our cross-reference functionality, we can also give them access to the documents to support that approval process. In this case, we're looking at a professional service agreement. So to make that determination, our approver might want to see the actual draft or the current draft contract that's on file, or perhaps some additional research documentation like a quotation or a statement of work regarding this particular service project. Now, once they've reviewed this information and they'd like to take a determination, they can simply click the workflow action, in this case the approve button, to go ahead and signify that they approve this particular contract request. Now, the other persona that we're going to touch on in this demonstration is the contract administrator. And if you've seen the prior videos, you'll see that they work from this contract request interface. Now, this contract request interface also provides them with the means to administer and report on the status of approvals. So the approvers are listed out in the contract approval grid of the contract request. And these can be inherited from contract templates so that we can predefine required approvals up front in the process. At the same time, this application wants to provide flexibility to our contract administrators, so they can also add additional approvers on an ad hoc basis based on their discretion and knowledge of this specific contract request. Now, in addition to providing an interface to administer contract approvers, This also doubles as a bit of a dashboard for the contract administrator. So once those approvals are sent out to the approvers, they can access this interface to see the status of the approval, whether or not we've gained the approval from somebody, when that approval was made, so on and so forth.
And now, what are the business benefits of OnBase in the review and approval stage? First, it ensures that the right people are reviewing and approving contracts, as Scott showed, by specifying the required approvers at a template level. But at the same time, it also provides legal flexibility to add and remove additional approvers based on their discretion. OnBase also ensures approvers are reviewing the right versions of documents and enables them to review and approve those requests from anywhere, whether in the office, at home, via mobile devices, or directly from line of business applications, again, increasing productivity.